As the owner of a late-model MacBook Pro, I've tried a lot of dongles and extenders to restore the ports that Apple so courageously omitted in its quest to make a thinner laptop. Linedock is the latest, and it doesn't just promise extra ports. It packs a huge battery, an extra hard drive, and active cooling to boot. I'm Michael Fisher. Let's find out if it's worth the bulk and the cost in the Mr. Mobile review. Pull it out from the optional charcoal sleeve, and the Linedock looks a lot like a laptop that someone forgot to cut a seam in. Its aluminum finish comes in gray or black with a matte coating that picks up fingerprints and scuffs really quickly, but which is also very easy for your computer to stick to. I thought it was just the paint at first until I did some digging and found that there are also 4 magnets inside the casing that guide your computer into place. I also found a delightful series of Easter eggs left by Linedock's creators. Way to paint the back of the fence. Bravo. Your computer, by the way, has to have at least one USB-C port to work with Linedock. I ended up using a Huawei MateBook X Pro for my testing because right now, Linedock only has 13-inch models available. Too small for my 15-inch MacBook Pro. More on availability later. Once you plug it in and Windows recognizes Linedock, 2 things happen automatically. 1, it pops up as an external hard drive, letting you drag and drop any files you want to the SanDisk SSD inside. And 2, Linedock starts charging your laptop with its onboard battery. That's a big power pack. At 72 watt-hours, it's actually 26% larger than the battery in this laptop, and you can also charge other devices at the same time. In my testing, it usually extended my laptop life by 3 to 4 hours, depending on how many other devices I had connected. The charge rate is pretty quick too, with Qualcomm Quick Charge 3 and USB power delivery compliance. You can even charge your laptop through the Linedock. It supports pass-through charging up to 100 watts. That's pretty fast. And then there's the ports. Linedock gives you 3 USB-A connections, 3 USB-C, a full-size SD card reader, a mini DisplayPort, and an HDMI jack. That's a lot of connectivity. Also, the company didn't have any of these to send me, but each Linedock does come with a U-line cable. It bonds dock and PC very neatly. It's much more useful than this long, awkward wire I've had hanging out the whole time. Also, you'll notice these ports on the back. On the 13-inch, they're just air vents, but on the 15, there's actually an active cooling system with fans, a heat pipe, and a heat sink. I did get to try out another optional accessory, in addition to the sleeve, the magnetic connector, which is meant to save your laptops from trip hazards like the old MagSafe connectors did. On the plus side, it's rated for a full 100 watts, and it works for data too. But for an adapter this chunky, it's got a pretty weak magnetic lock. It disconnected accidentally enough times that I eventually just decided to ditch it. Before we get to the brass tacks, something important to know about Linedock. This is the product of crowdfunding, so it's left a lot of angry people in its wake. Linedock is over a year late to production, and the 15-inch version won't even start shipping until fall. That's not great. Also, my review device is from an early batch that had some soldering issues which prevent my HDMI port from functioning. The company has stressed to me that this problem has been corrected for all of the production models. So, assuming that's true, it doesn't stop me from recommending it. It's just a really good reminder to test every single function as soon as you take delivery of a new product like this, so you can get a refund if necessary. Linedock does offer those for dissatisfied customers. So, is Linedock worth it? I'll be honest. When I first looked at the price tag, I said, bro, no. How could any laptop accessory be worth $399? But then I tallied up everything included inside this product. A 256 gig external drive from SanDisk costs between $70 and $100. A battery pack, like this one from Anker, costs around $60. And this port extender that I picked up from Best Buy cost me $90. Add it all up, you get somewhere between $250 to $275. That means you're paying a $125 premium to get the Linedock as reviewed here. Folks, I'm not saying $125 is a small amount of money, and $399 certainly isn't. But for the fusion of functionality and portability you're getting along with it, I do think it earns its price tag. And once the 15-inch model is available this fall, well, there's a pretty good chance I'll be snapping it up to take the place of a lot of bulk in my backpack. This video is brought to you by TunnelBear. True story, it's the first VPN I ever used, and I'm genuinely glad to sponsor it. TunnelBear lets you browse the web safely on a public hotspot, which I'm on frequently, and it lets you do it with the flick of a switch. TunnelBear even opened itself up to an independent audit to prove it's keeping its security promises. Mainly, though, I've got to be real, I'm here for the mascot. Help support Mr. Mobile, secure your browsing for the next 2 years, and save almost 60%. Hit the links in the description to secure your special deal on TunnelBear. And thanks. Folks, let me know what you use to make the most of your USB-C laptops in 2018. Drop a comment below, and be sure you're subscribed to the Mr. Mobile on YouTube so you don't miss the next video. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.